All right, everybody. Hello and welcome. If you are new to the channel, welcome back. If you love me, I love you too. We are here for the full moon in Scorpio. And this is the first full moon that we're having after the big total solar eclipse that we had on the 8th of April. And it's a super significant full moon that we're really going to be feeling, not just today, but for the next, at least the next 3 days, as the moon continues to transit through the sign of Scorpio and oppose the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction that we have going on in Taurus right now. So it's a big release moon, and it has a lot to do with why Spirit gave me the theme that it did, dialysis. Now, dialysis is the chemistry of using something that and its porosity to separate certain things. Like if you think about using a strainer, right? When you make pasta and stuff, the strainer filters out the water. The water is small enough to pass through the holes when the pasta is not. It's no different with this energy coming out of the full moon. The full moon is separating certain energy that cannot pass forward. It's too heavy. It's too dense, right? That energy cannot move forward with you, whoever or whatever it is. And so that is what we're going to be diving into with these secret code names. The secret code names are Licorice, Johnny Reckless, Vanilla Parade, and Unperishable. And after the live is done, I will go back and put some timestamps in the description for you so that you guys can fast forward to whatever secret code name you are guided to. For today, I'm going to be using the Tarot of Sexual Magic, the Field Tarot, and our Spiritual as Fuck deck for some guidance. The Tarot of Sexual Magic does have some adult images on it, so if you are not a fan or not adult enough to handle it, then respectfully you can sign off now. Otherwise, we are going to get into the message for whomever needs it. Now, those of you not familiar with secret code names are readings purchased by individuals via my Etsy shop. All of the moon events for the year are listed there. They're purchased by individuals, and those individuals are given a secret code name, so they know which reading is theirs. It's their personal reading. For everybody else, the beauty of the secret code names is that anyone can resonate to the secret code names. So if one of them stands out to you, it jumps out to you, it's resonating with you in some way, because we're all connected, chances are there is a message inside that secret code name for you. All right, so thank you to everybody who participates in these messages. Thank you to everybody who purchases the readings and makes these messages available for everybody else to heal through and gain insight from. You guys are greatly appreciated. So we are going to start with secret code name Licorice. All right. And we're going to see first with the Tarot of Sexual Magic what it is that's being filtered out. Hi, Rita. How are you? Great to see you. What is being filtered out? Spirit, please. What energy is being filtered out for secret code name Licorice? Specifically black licorice. That's what I saw. Spirit gave me black licorice. So what is it that is being filtered out, please, Spirit, for secret code name Licorice, and those who would be drawn to the message? Yeah, I'm glad you're doing well. That's wonderful. I always love to hear you guys are doing good. To be fair, I love it when you guys reach out to me, and even if you're not doing good, because you always end up doing good by the time we're done. So, you know, details. What card? Let's see. We've got the 10 of Wands in the reverse. I feel like there's more. What else? And the Ace of Swords. All right. Double ones. with that energy being what has flown out for you, the Ten of Wands reversed clarified by the Ace of Swords. Let me show you these. Okay. I feel like, let me flip this in the upright for you so you can actually see this energy. Okay. With these two cards being what's being released, it has a feeling of dominance and submission, right? With the submission being what was in the reverse, I feel like you're letting go of this need or desire to be in control and also being controlled. I feel like it's unattractive for you to be in dynamic ships, romantic or otherwise, where there's a power struggle, okay? Where you feel like you're constantly battling someone else to understand you and where you're coming from in situations because of the power struggle. You know, where you might be right, but the other person is unwilling to give you that nod because they want to be in control of the energy in the situation, and vice versa, where someone is just submitting to whatever you want because they lack the ability to lead. I think moving forward, what's being filtered out is power games, which is great, you know, if that's what's being filtered out, because what you're doing is you're moving forward with a very authentic mind where your dynamic ships are equal, where you are respected for where you're at, and where you are also respecting where others are at and taking things for face value moving forward so that it ends up being a win-win in the long run for everyone, right? Where there's not this constant struggle. So let's see, let's get some more insight into this, what this ends up looking like moving forward. Because I feel like it actually ends up putting you in more control, like not because you're seeking it, but just because you and spirit have this understanding, right, of what is in the highest good. Like sometimes it's just what's needed, right? And it's an acquired taste, kind of like licorice. You know, some people either love black licorice or they hate it, you know, and I think that you've acquired this taste for what other people don't like. And it's because they like the power struggle. They like the control. They like being in submission and at the mercy of someone else's choices because they don't like making choices. They like to blame other people when things go wrong, you know, and I think that you having this acquired taste for better energy is really coming through those cards. So let's get some insight, please, Spirit. What does this look like moving forward, especially because, you know, this moon ultimately ends up closing out our retrograde cycle with Mercury. All right, give me some clarities, please. Give me one more. Pretty please and thank you. All right. Bottom of the deck is the 10 of Swords. Top of the deck is the Fortune. So we've got 3 10s out here on the board. And 2 aces. So lots of ones. Love that. All right. So insight, what this looks like. We've got the Universe, which is the World card in this deck, in the reverse with the 8 of Wands in the reverse. Chariot clarified by the 3 of Cups. Devil clarified by Death. And the Star card clarified by the Ace of Wands. So ending sabotage, right? Ending betrayal of the self. With the 10 of Swords on the bottom, stepping out of despair and turning fortune's wheel in your favor with this energy. I feel like letting go of things without closure, because you have to. You know, the 8 of Wands is about getting spiritual pings to do something. I think when it's in the reverse, it's a forced, stuck energy when you don't close out things that need to be closed, right? And you could feel it. You can feel that stuck energy, like something needs to give. And yet it's always up to us to make that choice to be the give, right? To choose giving. And I think when you are not in a state of closure, it's hard to do that. And sometimes we do have to move forward without closure, right? Without proper closure, because that'll come later in some which way, shape, or form. With the Chariot card and the 3 of Cups, I think you're definitely moving forward on your path into joy and into celebration type energy. I think you're moving forward from third party, outside interference, distractive kind of energies. You know, the Devil with the Death card, I find it so interesting because I had started creating my own tarot deck. I've been working on it for a couple years now. And I was guided because there's 4 different lovers cards inside the deck. And one of my Divine Rebels, one of our members, really inspired me to mirror that with the Devil card. And I ended up creating 4 different Devil cards for the deck to really be specific on the different energies that the Devil can represent. And the one that I just did, which ended up pinging me in all kinds of directions with other cards, is really about the cages that we put ourselves in. You know, one of the big themes of that card is beasts deserve cages. And yet it is the devil that is keeping the humans in the cage. You know, it's when we self-punish, it's karma. It's when we feel deserving of hard lessons in order to really understand in our psyche and our soul not to choose things again, right? When we put ourselves in these cages. And I feel like you with the Death card clarifying are really coming out of the cage, right? Finally allowing yourself to be released from the self-inflicted punishment of karma that you were utilizing to really dial in a lesson that you never wanted to forget, right? The Star card with the Ace of Wands after that is really this healing, this kind of rebirth from the waters of the self into your value and being inspired, right? Really being inspired with that Ace of Wands to be different, to accept different, and to no longer tolerate the same energy with or without closure. It's almost like if there's no closure and, you know, they're dealing with the fact that there's no closure after the fact, that's a them problem. It is not a you problem. You know, if you've got to move forward and you're not getting the proper acknowledgement from someone, or you're not getting the specific result or rectification of a situation, you're like, you know what? It is what it is. I'm choosing joy. I'm not staying in this prison with you. You know, I'm not going to punish myself because you're in a state of restrictive energy, right? This heavy, dense energy, this abusive to the self energy, you know, where it projects out at other people. I think you're looking at things moving forward and really feeling that it is what it is. That is what it is energy. Like if that's where you are, then that's where you are, but that's not where I have to be. Moving forward, I don't think you care about who gets the last word kind of thing. Like if you want to get the last word, get the last word. I don't care. I don't care to have the last word either. You know, if someone is saying something to push your buttons or telling you something to flip you around and make you a little crazy, you know, or spin your world, so to speak, and have your emotions or your mind or everything all like consumed because they gave you a reality shake, so to speak, I think you're just in this energy of, I don't care enough to continue in the pain cycle. I would rather experience camaraderie. I would rather experience friends and soul. I would rather experience love and gratitude. I would rather experience reciprocity and respect. I would rather experience better things than the experiences that you bring into my life. And it is what it is. You know, if that's where you're at, then that's where you're at. But that's not where I am, nor where I want to be. And so it's just like letting it go without quote unquote closure, because you've ceased to entertain the toxic energy, right? The power struggles, you know, where people think that, you know, they don't want you in control. They don't want you, you know, dictating a certain situation. And so they throw your energy through a loop with their choices to regain control. Now who's on top? Now who's in power? Now who has who a mess? And it's like, I don't care enough about you to be a mess. I don't care about the situation enough to be a mess. I am more inclined to embrace my peace and let it go, right? More inclined to embrace my peace and let it go. So good for you, because that's a really good place to be. What is the guiding energy, please, Spirit, for Licorice? What is the guidance, please? The reminder, the inspiration. Oh, I love that. It says, sometimes everything is going wrong for the right reasons. Sometimes everything is going wrong for the right reasons. It says, you've been wanting life to get better, right? We often forget that in order for things to change, the status quo needs to get shaken up, and the stuff that no longer serves us needs to leave to make room for the good shit. We all love the phoenix rising from the ashes, but we forget the part where her nest is a bonfire and she's on fire and shit is scary as fuck. Remember, you want to be a phoenix, you got to learn to love the fire. Truth. I fucking love that. Let it burn. Let it burn. You know, and that's exactly, I think that's exactly where you're at. This is the kind of vibration that Spirit is pulling you into, because moving forward, like what's being filtered out, the dense, heavy energy that cannot come forward with you is giving a fuck about things that you have no business giving a fuck about when you're in your best light. Your best light, your highest self, your best version of who you are, loving your life, doesn't give a fuck about certain things and certain people and certain situations and certain energies. Like they could do whatever the fuck they want. They could do whatever they want. They could date whoever they want. They could take whatever job they want. They can give, not give, whatever the fuck they want. And it's like, none of it matters. None of it matters, because it has no power over you. When you don't let it fuck up your shit, you don't let it fuck up your day, you don't let it fuck up what you're doing and your headspace and your ability to go out there and live your best life and meet people and be excited. about connection, including connection with yourself. You are a powerful, powerful person in that energy. Let it fucking burn. Right? Let it burn. Secret code name Licorice. All right. Moving forward. Secret code name Johnny Reckless. And it was crazy because when I got the secret code name, it reminded me of Johnny Knoxville. But it came through as Johnny Reckless. So I'm kind of curious to see what this is, because those of you not familiar with Johnny Knoxville, I do believe that he was a part of the series Jackass. And the secret code name is Johnny Reckless. So it's like being a jackass, but not because it's funny. Being a jackass because they're a fucking jackass. So let's see what energy is being filtered out for you with this full moon. Spirit, please, for secret code name Johnny Reckless and those who are resonating with it. What is being filtered out with this full moon? What is being filtered out with this full moon? We've got the Eight of Pentacles. And the Six of Swords. Let me give you a good look at these cards. Again, adult images, guys. Okay. I think you want more than a single rose. I think you want the whole damn bouquet. You know. And I think that there's something to be said about niceness. Like, he made her breakfast in bed. He's offering her the rose, but her body language is very closed up. And here in the Six of Swords, like she's wearing a necklace, but it's broken. I think what you're letting go of is the energy breadcrumbing. The energy breadcrumbing. You know, it's like letting go of people who are only thoughtful, bare minimally thoughtful when they want something. Like he makes the breakfast in bed. Like she doesn't look enthused. Like he made the breakfast in bed. He's offering a single rose. And it's because he wanted to be intimate with her, you know. And the things that he gives are cheap, right? A cheap necklace wouldn't break like that. It's cheap energy. It's agenda-based energy. You know, you want someone to put in the actual work, the actual effort that turns you on, you know, and I don't mean that in a sexual way. I mean the energy that turns you on, like being intimately, emotionally close with someone, feeling understood by someone, feeling supported by someone, you know, and it doesn't necessarily have to be romantic dynamic ships either. You know, family can do this shit where they can, you know, not be around for however long, and then all of a sudden they're popping up and they're doing little things for you, and then the favor comes. Right? And so I feel like for you, it's like you're either in or you're out. You're either full-time in or you're full-time out, because this energy breadcrumbing, because people want something from you, where they're trying to, you know, flash these little bits of give to you so that they can get something that they need or want of your time energy. I think that you're letting that go. I think you're filtering that out, you know, moving forward. I think that you're going to find yourself only really willing to be there for people who are consistent. You're only going to be willing to give to consistency, because that alignment allows you as an individual to be consistent, right? You and your dynamic ships. It allows you to be consistent. You can show up for who matters, knowing that who matters is going to show up for you, and there's a consistent interest in your well-being, and vice versa, right? Those deeply intimate, my soul loves your soul and we support each other type connections, right? So I think you're filtering out those who are not genuinely interested in your well-being, but more so just interested in their own, right? And how they can utilize their connection with you when it's convenient for them, and just not really hold interest or care about you otherwise, you know? So what does this look like moving forward then? What does this look like moving forward for secret code name Johnny Reckless and those who resonate to it? What does this look like? Yeah, like how can people treat you like crap or neglect you the majority of the time? Like they're not in touch with how you feel and your emotional and psychological real world well-being until they want something from you. And then they're sweet and kind until they get it, and then they're back to their old shit. You know? You're like, fuck that. We've got the 7 of Swords. With the Star. The Hanged Man. The 8 of Discs. 9 of Swords on the 7 of Swords. The 2 of Wands. 6 of Wands, and the King of Discs with Justice. Bottom of the deck is the Wheel of Fortune. Top of the deck is the 2 of Discs. All right. This looks like change. I mean, literally, the 2 of Discs says change on the bottom. And the Wheel of Fortune is all about change, right? I think you're going from day to night, right? Or night to day, whatever way you want to look at it. I think that you're about to really flip the script on certain energies and people, right? We have the 7 of Swords with the 9 of Swords, and it's deceptive energy, and you're afraid, right? It's being afraid of the deception, fearing the closeness with people who I think you are well aware of the fact that they're deceiving you or holding some truth back from you. You know, the 7 of Swords here, there's 6 swords up front, like a boundary, and the fox is holding the truth, right? The 7th sword. It's holding the truth back. And I think that dealing with these deceptive energies, right, you're tired of it. It gives you anxiety, right? It gives you real anxiety. Every time that they're nice to you, it's almost like it brings up this intense fear and anxiety. Like, what do you want? Like, they're not nice to be nice. They're nice, and it's like, what do you want? And no one wants to be in dynamic ships like that, right? Like, That would make me so fucking sad. That would make me so sad to have someone close to me in my life, and the only time they were ever really nice to me is because the need or the want followed, and their kindness is deceptive. You know, I think that's such a sad energy to experience, whether these people are, you know, at a distance from you and pop in when they want to pop in, or worse, if they live with you. You know, if you're in a relationship dynamic with somebody where you tend to be, you know, doing your own thing most of the time, or it's toxic most of the time, and then all of a sudden they're being nice, and it's like, what do you want? What do you want? Like, why can't you just be nice to me for the sake of being nice to me? Why do I have to feel this anxiety when you're nice to me? Because what you want is coming after. And, you know, you feel owed or entitled to whatever it is you're asking me for because you're giving me some breadcrumb. When what you're asking of me is no breadcrumb. Like, yeah, in a sense, like, you can make me breakfast, right? Metaphorically speaking, like, you can make me breakfast, but if you want sex, breakfast isn't sacred. My body is sacred. Like, you're asking for a huge trade-off, and I don't actually feel comfortable in the energy being sacred with you. Like, you don't feel like a sacred person that I want to be intimate with. You're toxic most of the time. You know, you're negligent most of the time. Your kindness is deceptive. It's like, what the fuck am I even in this relationship with you for? And there might even be a fear of leaving it. You know, for some of you that resonate to this reading, there might be a fear of leaving it, or anxiety leaving it, because of the repercussions that this person would take on you when you set boundaries, because they have none. They have no boundaries. They have no integrity. They have no moral compass. It is self-preservation and getting my needs met. It's really selfish. And if you take away whatever it is that they're getting from you, all hell could break loose, because now they're acting out and they're using that as a form of control. They're using it as a form of control. You need to continue doing what I want you to do, because if you don't, all hell's going to break loose. I need you in this fear state to keep getting what I want. Their kindness is deceptive. Below the surface, they would fuck you over in a heartbeat. Especially if they perceive, and I stress the word perceive, that it's you that's fucking them over, when they're not taking into account the fact that they're abusive. That is psychological abuse. It's manipulative, right? With the Star card in the reverse, with the Two of Wands, I think you're looking at moving forward, but the fact that you haven't healed something is maybe keeping you on the fence or keeping you stuck, because you're looking at the mountain, right? You're looking at the mountain. If you're not moving forward and healing from this individual or this situation, it's because you're looking at the mountain. You're looking at the problems that it would create to leave them, instead of what's on the other side of the mountain when you deal with it, when you face it. Because your path is forward. And if there's a mountain in your path, well, you still have to move forward. If you're afraid of the obstacle and you're standing still, then all you're doing is making no progress, right? If you have a toxic individual in your life, or a breadcrumbing dynamic in your life, you've got to face the mountain. You've got to move forward. And they can be afraid of the mountain. They could be afraid of doing what they need to do to move forward and better their lives and get on the other side of their own mountains. And that's not your problem. Hey, Kelly, how are you? That's not your problem. You still have to move forward and get on the other side of things. The Hanged one is perspective, right? The Hanged Man in this deck is perspective. That day and night kind of feeling. With the Six of Wands, how you look at it is entirely up to you. It's entirely up to you, because you can look at this mountain as the key to your success, because what you're willing to go through, they're unwilling to go through. And the obstacle that's keeping you from moving forward becomes the obstacle that separates them from you. It's a matter of perspective. That mountain, that obstacle does not have to be what keeps you stuck with them. That mountain can be what is essentially your best friend, because it keeps you vibrationally separated. If you are living in your truth and they are living in a lie, those two energies cannot persist in the same vicinity. They're vibrating differently. If you decide to live in your truth and refuse to remove the mountain, honesty, reality, transparency, if you refuse to move that mountain for them, then they have to go through it to be in your energy. See, the issue would be then that you are not being honest, truthful, or transparent with yourself or this person or situation. And that's why you're on the same side of the mountain as them, looking at it like it's such a problem. It's not a problem. The Eight of Discs is about putting in this effort towards your power, right? The King of Discs in this deck is power. With Justice, you've got to make a dedicated effort to empower yourself and let Lady Justice do what she does so that things can change day and night, right? Big reality shift. And I think that you will find yourself in a much better place when you get to the other side of this whole thing, right? So what is the guidance, please, Spirit, for secret code name Johnny Reckless? Those who were drawn to it and resonated to it. What is the inspirational word from the Spiritual as Fuck deck? Really, Spirit saying, I can give you the advice, but you got to be willing to take it. You got to be willing to take it. Be a badass love beam today. Be a badass love beam today. Says, that's right. Today it's your job to fill every room you go in with laser beams of love. If you can't do laser beams, then make your heart a bubble machine and fill the room with bubbles. If that doesn't work for you, then you should bring donuts to work. Donuts make almost everyone happy. Go forth with your mission, grasshopper. You fill yourself up with things that resonate with the vibration of love. Make your energy so big that the energy of other people have to submit to the fact that your energy is in the fucking room. Your energy is front and center, boom, in the room. They cannot sway, they cannot move, they cannot thwart, they cannot change, they cannot dim the fucking energy that you're in. You choose your energy. Do not be meek. Be humble and powerful in that. Submit to Spirit that you are a powerful, powerful person. Be humble. You have played small. Spirit would like to beg to differ. You've played small with these energies. You've played powerless with these energies. Spirit would beg to differ. It's asking you to be humble and embrace the fact that there is a reality about you that you haven't known yet. How powerful you can be when you set the terms of who you are and what you are or aren't willing to fucking deal with. And if they want to throw their little bitch tantrum and make your life a fucking storm, trust and know that you will get through that storm, first off. And second off, you ain't got nothing to lose letting go of them. It is them losing you, and that sucks for them. They should have behaved better. They should have not been so fucking reckless with your dynamic shit. They should have been more respectful and more considerate and more genuine. They should have healed their own bullshit. They should have healed their shit before bringing you into their black hole of shit. They could keep their black hole. But you're going to fucking shine elsewhere. You're not getting sucked into their shit today. Your light is powerful as fuck. So be in that energy. Be a fucking badass. Be a fucking badass. Right? Spirit's advice to you. Secret code name Johnny Reckless. Love that. We don't fucking deserve crumbs. All right. We're going to move on to secret code name Vanilla Parade. And I have no clue what Spirit meant with that secret code name. It gave me vanilla, like vanilla beans, like Madagascar vanilla. But I said parade, really? Like, you don't want me to do like vanilla bean? And it was like, no, vanilla parade. So I don't know what the parade is. I don't know if something is on display or if something is being publicly celebrated. You might want to look up vanilla as a vibration. Hey, Lala, how are you doing? Love you. Yeah, but vanilla parade was the secret code name. So we're going to see what it is that is being filtered out with this full moon energy for you and those who are drawn a secret code name. What is being filtered out at this time moving forward? What is being filtered out? Three of Cups. And the 10 of Cups. Again, adult images, guys. Let me give you a close-up of these cards. What is being filtered out? You can see he's all about her in the first picture, but then when she tries to continue the intimacy, right, more than just the sexual stuff, he's walking away. She's like, come on, sit with me. Enjoy the pleasures, you know, the earthly pleasures outside of just my body with me. He's like, no, like, I'll enjoy the earthly pleasure too, but if you want more than that, like, I'm out. I got what I wanted. And I feel like as much as you might enjoy this energy with them, you want more. And that's the bottom line. So I think you're letting go of this energy, right? Romantic or otherwise. I think you're letting go of this energy that only meets you as far as their desires. Like wherever your desires meet up with theirs, that's where their connection with you stops, right? An example that's not romantic or sexual would be like work friends. Maybe you're really super close friends with someone at work, but the minute you try and take it outside of work and be friends with them outside of work, they're like, no, I can't, or they fall through, or they're not available. Like they don't mind being a work friend with you, but they don't want to be your friend outside of work. And you're like, but we get along so well at work. Like we're such good friends at work. Like how come we can't be great friends outside of work too? You know? It's no different with family. Like let's just say you have a parent that you're not necessarily the closest to, but they love being around your kids. They love babysitting with the kids, and they'll take the kids whenever. But if you want to hang out with them, like they're not a fan. They would rather just take the kids and watch the kids and have you leave because they don't really want to be around you. And it's like, well, you know, I want to be close to you, though. I want to work on our relationship. I want to work, you know, on strengthening that, you know, even if it's been rough in the past. And they're like, nope, not interested. And or they're only willing to be around your kids when you're there. And if you want to leave the kids with just them, then they're not interested. They'll only see the kids if you stay. You know, someone who is only willing, right? Because I needed to give a couple examples that were not just about sex. But it's like that. It's like someone who is only willing to meet you at a certain level and not wanting to go beyond that. Like, why can't you be more intimate? Why can't you go deeper with me? You know, it's no different than the metaphor of the intimacy sexually. Like, it's great that we have this great sexual chemistry and this great connection physically, but can't we go deeper? Can't we let it be more? And it's this energy of people being afraid to go deep. And I think that's what's being filtered out. People being afraid to go deep, to allow themselves that depth with other people. And ultimately it comes from wounds, right? It comes from wounds that they're dealing with that they don't want you to see. They don't want you to see it. They don't want that wound to be exposed. You know, the partner, the sexual partner that doesn't want more than just friends with bennies. They don't want their wounds to be exposed. It's no different than the person at work. Like, they could put on a mask and they could put on this persona of who they are, you know, at work, and they could be great. But if, you know, they let you into their personal life, it's too deep. It's too vulnerable. They're embarrassed of something, right? They're hiding something that they don't want you to experience and witness. No different with the family member who, like, will be there and see your kids when you're there, but actually just being with them, like, they can't handle it. That wound would come out that they're embarrassed about, and they're afraid of it. You know, people don't go deep for a reason. It's because there's some kind of wound being suppressed. And I think people that are willing to suppress their wounds and not go deep, I think that's what you're filtering out. Yeah, I'm a Venus Scorpio too, yo. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. So let's get some more insight. Let's get some more insight. I'm heavy on the filter myself. This full moon is happening on my Pluto South Node conjunction. My Venus is at 28 degrees. 28, 29 degrees, Scorpio. Seven of Swords, Seven of Wands, Justice, the Hierophant, King of Wands, clarifying the Seven of Swords, Tower on the Seven of Wands, Star card on Justice. Give me one more, please. And the Magician, lots of major arcana. Bottom of the deck is the Queen of Cups. No surprise we were talking about Venus and Scorpio during this reading. And the Queen of Discs is on top. That is Scorpio and Taurus right there. Fixed energy. All right. Queen of Discs. Super preggers in that card. So this may, for some of you, be dealing with someone that you've had children, that you have had children with, right? This reading may be coming up and this theme may be coming up because you might have children with someone who was willing to have sex with you, but was unwilling to get deep in their responsibilities, you know, as a parent, you know, their responsibility to grow and heal and be more than just their lower self for the rest of their life, you know, unwilling to grow up, unwilling to go deep. I feel like intuitively, you know that you deserve to be nurtured, that you deserve to be in those depths of love with people, you know, whether it's loving family dynamics or loving friendship dynamics or loving partnership dynamics. Like, you want to be inside those depths. You don't want to be on the surface. You don't want to be in moments of pleasure. You want to be inside this deeply satisfying space with life and love, all of it. You don't want the love of life to come in fleeting moments. You want the love of life to be a consistent music in the background of everything that you're doing. And we only really get that vibration of experience when we're with people who go deep. There is a safety in there, a security of soul in there, when you can move forward in life in full trust of the people walking by your side because you've been deep with them. You know, you allow yourselves to go down into the dark places where we don't want to be seen and heal things and come out on top, you know, come out stronger because you were able to move forward through things and heal. You know, there's this real desire moving forward to be nurtured by your experience and the people in it. That's important for you. With the Seven of Swords and the King of Wands, that could be someone who is definitely superficial on the surface and it's a sexy fling. They're not going to go deep. And I think when you defend yourself against that energy with the Seven of Wands and the Tower, I think that it's a major revelation if someone doesn't want to go deeper with you. Like, people can only meet you as deep as they've met themselves. And if you are a deep person who has been inside your own depths and they will not meet you on your level, then you really do kind of need to defend yourself against that energy, because you don't understand what it's like to stay on the surface. You know depths. Not all creatures swim to the depths that a whale can. A lot of things just stay on the surface. But you are not that kind of being. Your energy is bigger. I think justice comes in and healing takes place when you marry the divine. When you marry your magic. You know, the justice with the star card and the Hierophant with the magician is huge energy. Heavy on the air elements, right? Libra, Aquarius, and Gemini coming out with justice, the star, and the magician. To be fair, we've also got Virgo and Taurus there. We've got Mars out here. Really in your higher mind. Seeing the reality for what it is, knowing the vibration that you're in, and bringing justice to your relationship dynamics. Seeing people for where they are, knowing where you are, and deciding whether or not you can commit to moving forward. That you would have to come up to the surface to continue in certain dynamic shifts with people because they are unwilling to get deep. And as long as you accept them for where they are and cease and desist trying to bring them deeper, I think that you can continue forward with them because you're meeting them at their depth level. But definitely be okay with the fact that they can only go so deep and no further, because I think if you continue to try and pull them deeper, it's only going to frustrate you. It's only going to make them uncomfortable. They're not willing to go there. That's a choice that they have to make, to be deep. And I think once you accept people where they are and let that click in, okay, this person only goes that deep. Okay. I know how far they're willing to go. I know what they're comfortable with. I accept where they are. I'm not going to try and change it or hope that they change it. But if my desires and their desires connect, great. I'll meet them on the surface and we can connect and enjoy whatever that exchange of experience is. And when I am not in need of it or not desiring it, then I'm going to be down in my depths. And if they want what I have, they're going to have to come down here and get it until I'm ready to come back up to the surface for them. Point blank, period. You know, it is what it is. Like someone who just wants sex from you, if you're willing to and have that exchange with them, because maybe the sex is bomb. Maybe it's a great release for you sometimes. You know, maybe that's your thing. Every once in a while, you just got to let it out and you have great bomb chemistry with this person. But if they want it all the time, well, oh well, maybe you don't want it all the time kind of thing. Maybe you're that once a year kind of person. And you hit them up once a year when you want it. You know they're good for it. It's fucking bomb, and then you're out. And if they want it more often, well, then they're going to have to get deeper with you. Because the only way that you would want it more often is because you're attracted to the depth. The depth is what turns you on. It's a rare occasion when you come up to the surface. You're deeper. You know, challenge them to come deeper. Not because you're trying to, but because you're just being your fucking self. It doesn't pay to be intimate with them and come up to the surface and be intimate with them because you're trying to convince them to come deeper, and they could have it all the time or more often if they come deeper and you're willing to give when you don't actually want to give because you're trying to get something. Like technically that's manipulation, you know? But if you just accept where they are, and don't give more than you are willing to give that you're comfortable with, well, it works out better in the long run. What's the guidance, please, Spirit? There are people who dislike you because you don't dislike yourself. There are people who dislike you because you don't dislike yourself. God, isn't that everything? Like, you're willing to go deep because you don't not like yourself, and they hate that because they do. They don't like themselves. That's what they're hiding. That's why they don't go deep. There are certain things about themselves that they fucking hate. It's self-loathing. And they'd rather ignore it and pretend that that self-loathing is not there. Or deal with it internally and not heal it. There are going to be people who dislike you because you don't dislike yourself. It says, this is true. The biggest revenge we can have on people who judge us is to love ourselves hard and for really reals. Some people are going to talk shit about you simply because you are shining bright as fuck. Shine on. Yeah. You want to be down inside your beautiful depths? You want to be deep? And they don't like that you're creating healthy boundaries, and they don't like feeling used when you come up to the surface and want them. They want to talk shit on you. Like, oh, you're using me. Like, it would be the other way around if I wasn't inside my own fucking light. You know what I mean? Like, if it were the other way around and I was meeting you on the surface all the time for you to get what you wanted, then you'd be using me and not giving me what I wanted. Like, that mirror's a bitch, ain't it? It's deciding what side of the mirror you're on. Continue to love who you are. Don't be afraid that you're too deep for people. Let them be afraid that they're not deep enough for you. And that you're fucking bright and beautiful and real. And if you can love yourself, then you sure as hell must be worth loving. Because anybody who doesn't love themselves, it's not that they're not worth loving. It's just that they would only be worth loving if they loved themselves. And that's their battle. It's impossible to love an unlovable person. Like, I could love people in my life from a healthy fucking distance because who they choose to be, their behavior is not lovable. I can hold love for my mother at a very, very healthy distance because her in my life, her behavior and choices are not lovable. It's not that she doesn't deserve love. She just refuses to heal to a place and state of being that being around her is lovable. It's no different with our exes, right? We loved them. Our exes in this life, we loved them, but their behavior was not lovable. That's why they're exes. It's no different with that person that we have bomb-ass sex with, that bomb chemistry with. It's fucking off the chain. But we're not willing to commit to them for whatever reason. And maybe it's because the other shit that they involve themselves with is not lovable. Maybe they hang around the wrong crowd. Maybe they got some toxic fucking habits. Maybe they're an addict. Maybe they're reckless as fuck with their money. Maybe they like side pieces. Maybe they're a fucking liar. It's like, yeah, the chemistry is great. And I'll have it when I want to have it. If you also want to have it. But more with you? No. Consistency with you? No. Because I'm only going to get hurt. I'm only going to get hurt on the surface. So they could dislike you for loving who you are and the choices you're making all you want. They're having a hard time loving themselves and their choices. And they'll project that out at you all the fucking time. If you've got haters, it's because you're standing in your fucking power. Let them fucking hate. Stay in that power. 100%. 100%. They could fucking hate your power all day. Let them hate. I even put a post up about that on Facebook the other day. Literally titled it, "Let Them Hate You." Let them hate you. Love the fact that you're deep. Love the fact that you're deep, and forgive them. Forgive them for not understanding the walls that they keep between them and themselves, which literally manifest as walls between them and deeper people. Prayers to all of those people. All right. Secret codename Unperishable. What is being filtered out, Spirit, with this full moon energy? What is being filtered out that is not coming forward with us? What is being filtered out? We've got the Hermit and the Nine of Chalices. Again, adult images, guys. Let me give you a close-up of these cards. Double nines. You can see this one card, the gentleman is holding a candle with the flame out, while the other two in the background are totally into each other. And then they're over here again, right? All kinds of intimate, legs on the other, sharing, you know, embrace and things like that. It's playful. I feel like what you're letting go of, what's being filtered out, are envious people. I think certain people get to experience you and your light, your energy in a certain way. That's beautiful, and other people want that. And you know what? Because this gentleman here has the cloth across his waist, and this one also has the cloth across his waist, but she's obviously very into the guy in the background here, and she's a little more, you know, hands back, even though their fingers are intertwined here. It's like willing to be intimate with certain people, but not go all the way. And they want you to go all the way intimate with them. And I don't mean in a physical sense, like a sexual sense. I mean on an energetic sense. Like some people get all of you. Some people get all of your energy, all of your consideration, all of your self. And then other people want that all too, but they are not in the same vibration as the person that you give your all to. It's like other people want you to give your all to them, but they are not of the same caliber, energetically speaking. Okay. Well, why can't you love me the same way? Why can't you talk to me the same way? Why can't you be kinder to me the same way? Why can't you be this the same way? And it's because the other person might warrant the kindness. The other person might warrant the more compassionate words, you know, where this other individual you might need to draw healthy lines with or boundaries with and say, no, you cannot do this, or no, you cannot do that, or I need you to do this before I'm willing to do that. You know, it's this kind of energy where someone wants all of your light, but they're not willing to give you all of their light. And they're failing to recognize the fact that the person you give all of your light to also gives you all of their light. You're like, well, why can't you treat me the same as you treat this person? And it's because this person gives me 100%. That's why I give them 100%. But you want me to give you 100%, but you don't want to meet me at 100% and give me 100% in exchange. So if you only give me 90, I'm going to give you 90. If you only give me 50, I'm going to give you 50. If you give me none, I'm going to give you none. Right? You have someone in your reality who wishes they were as light as you and receiving the same light that you give other people who are light with you. And that's what's being filtered out. People who are envious of the light that you give other people. They want it, but they haven't earned it. They haven't met themselves in a place where they feel good about who they are and all of their choices. This is like a big theme with these readings. People want more than they're willing to give. And when people start drawing lines and saying, no, I'm not willing to give that, they're like, well, why not? Why not? It's like, you gotta meet me there. You've got to meet me in that energy. Because what's the point? To give 100% of yourself to someone is a lot. The only way it works really is if it's reciprocated. Otherwise, it's a drain. It's a slow drain or a fast drain, depending on how much 100 you're giving to what you're getting in return. It's like, I know you want me to focus on you right now, but I can't. I can't. Even if I wanted to, I can't. Your energy doesn't warrant it. You want the best of me, but you're not giving the best of you. You know, that's what's being filtered out. People who want the best of you, but are unwilling to give the best of themselves in return. I think that they're either going to meet you on the same energy or they're going to get filtered out, right? They're either going to end up meeting you on the same energy and become more in their light, or they're going to create a dynamic ship where they end up getting filtered out, right? Let's get some insight into this. What comes of this energy? What comes of this spirit? For secret code name, Unperishable. What does this look like? We've got the Two of Wands. The Three of Discs. And the Emperor, or the Empress, forgive me. And the Four of Wands. Queen of Discs is clarifying the Two of Wands. Hanged Man on the Three of Discs. The Princess of Cups on the Empress. One more. Ooh. Two more. The Six of Wands with the Nine of Cups reversed. We have the Magician on the bottom and the Four of Discs on top. Okay. You're manifesting stability. You're manifesting things worth holding on to, right? There is no you are the weakest link, goodbye kind of stuff. That's power. You know, you're manifesting a stable reality that creates power and safety and security in your connection with them in your life. If you're a give 100% kind of person, then people who give 100% can stay, because that's what creates the strongest reality. The Two of Wands clarified by the Queen of Discs. I think you're realizing that there's obstacles ahead with someone. And it may be a child, to be fair. If you have kids, especially if they're older kids, especially because the Princess of Cups here is underneath the Empress, and the Empress and the Queen of Discs have a very similar vibration. She's super pregnant here. The Empress is also like the mother lion, you know, she's the one that takes care of the cub. So this might be pertaining to children. If you have children, take it as it resonates. I feel like you're seeing the potential obstacles ahead. The Three of Discs with the Hanged Man. You're aware that there's a certain spiritual contract that you have with someone. Even here, like the two planets or the two circles or whatever they are up top are leveled up the pyramid, right? This triangle. They're a higher level than the one down here. It's like two individuals are definitely in a high vibration together, and one person is trying to level up. And the reality is, right, this white and red circle here are one right here above the pyramid, above the obstacle. So whatever this obstacle is, whoever is on your energy level, it's only up from here. There is a merging taking place between you and someone else. The person that is in it 100 with you is going to create a merger, right? Where you're acting as a single unit because of your alignment. Like you might be two separate individuals, but you function as a unit. You're on the same wavelength, the same vibration, the same goals, the same trust in each other, right? Very harmonious connection. And in your Empress energy, your high feminine, right, receptive, intuitive energy, I think you're looking at the Princess of Cups, which is the dreams, right? And if you think about the Page of Cups, it's kind of hopeful. The Page of Cups likes to fantasize about the best. You know, if you think about the Page of Cups, it's usually depicted with the figure holding the fish inside the cup. And it's like they caught this fish in the world. And they're like, I want this fish to come home with me and be happy. And it's hopeful that you and the fish can have a very nice future. But you've taken the fish out of the water. You know what I mean? Like, you've taken the fish out of its natural environment. And so I think a part of you is hopeful, but you realize that this person coming up, you're asking them to come out of their natural environment and be happy with you in a fishbowl. The Four of Wands with the Six of Wands. I think your desire for stability, your vision for a joyous, happy, celebratory family is real. I think there's success there. You and your partnership, I think, are in high alignment if you're with a partner. It's unperishable, right? But with the Nine of Cups in the reverse, it's almost like having to let the fish stay outside of a fishbowl and be in its natural environment, letting it be what it was always meant to be in the world, as opposed to keeping it in the fishbowl. And I think that that's the challenge, right? Because here's that yellow disc here, and here it is there. It's risen above the water, you know, over here. Its destiny or its path is different for the time being, anyway. It has to experience things differently than you would have preferred to daydream about. You know, when you think about your best daydream or the path of someone, you know, because we all have choices. We have high vibrational choices and low vibrational choices, and we can choose whatever path that we want. That's our divine birthright, right? Our free will choice. So no matter what high choices someone can make, at the end of the day, we have to honor the fact that they have free will and will choose whatever path is in their highest good, whether it's the easy, more highly aligned one, or the more difficult, lower aligned one. Either way, the result is the same. Either way, the result is the same, because all paths lead upwards, right? Whether they're going up the pyramid or up in the sky and they're rising. I think you might need to let go of a short-term goal or a short-term vision so that they could figure out how to get to their 100%. So that they could figure it out and be in their best light. Because whatever part of themselves that they're rejecting, it's being projected out more than likely as a rejection of you, because you're in your light. They want more than what is warranted from you. And the divine loves us enough to not let that energy stand, right? Eventually it stops. You know, either people meet you where you're at, or it's the slow drain to the point that, you know, they get frustrated with the fact that they can only give X%. That's not 100, and you're not willing to give 100. They will get frustrated and move forward and learn the value of 100% people and being a 100% kind of person in order to maintain those solid, steady relationship dynamics. So if you are seeing the bigger picture, the long-term picture, and the reality of someone is what it is worth it to let the fish go, as opposed to seeing it not live its best life inside the tank, right? Setting it free. Letting it explore, letting it learn what it's like to thrive out in the wild. You know, this life, this plane of existence is an arena teaching us how to thrive in our given environment. You know, there's a reason why squirrels don't live in the ocean. It's not a natural environment for them. No different than fish don't live on land. They thrive in the water. I think that if you're filtering out people who are envious of your energy, who want what they haven't spiritually earned yet, if that's what's being filtered out, be grateful that they're able to thrive in the environment meant for them to get into their rising. Maybe they can't follow the same path or trajectory that you did. Maybe they have to go through the deaths and rebirths, the empowerment on their own terms. And that's fine. You know, people trigger us for a reason. People move us into different energy spaces for a reason. You know, the people that we cross in this life, the paths that we take, all paths lead to the same destination. All paths ultimately lead to the same destination. And that is being one with the ecosystem of life, the connectedness of all of us, and how we benefit the whole by being very authentically individual, right? So let's get you some guidance from our spiritual as fuck deck. What guidance, please, for secret code name Unperishable? Look at the fucking moon. Quite the card for the full moon. Look at the fucking moon. Just look at that thing. It's lovely as fuck, right? You're welcome. Oh. The moon creates the tides. Things come in, things go out. It reflects beautifully the light that we need when we need it. It releases that which needs to be released. It creates the new that needs to be created. Everything has its cycles, right? Everything has its cycles. I was even having this conversation with my son. You know, everything works in cycles. The nodes run in a cycle. Venus runs in a cycle. Mars runs in a cycle, right? All of these things, these planets, retrogrades, they run in a cycle. And whatever we let go of, if we have to let go of it, intuitively, right? We're talking about the moon. If you know it is meant to come back, it will. It's just a matter of letting the patterns, letting the cycles do what they do, letting them serve us, letting the patterns serve us, trusting that what goes around comes around, and what is meant to be will always be. And we can't stop or change the path, no matter how much of the path we see. You can see miles and miles and miles ahead with a road. But just because you can see for miles down the road does not change the road. If you can only see the 10 feet in front of you, because the path and the terrain is thick with stuff, it doesn't change the road. Just because you can't see it doesn't mean it's changeable. The path is still what it is. So with all of your knowledge and all of your ignorance, the path is the path. Whatever path someone needs to take is fine. And that goes for every dynamic ship you have in this life. You can see all that you see and feel all that you feel. But it doesn't change the path. Our highest good path is our highest good path. And no matter which path we end up taking at the crossroads of life, we still always end up at the same destination. The destination we were always meant to end up at. And there's a great peace that comes along with that. Accepting the ins and the outs of people and the tides of life. So enjoy the moon. Enjoy the full moon. Enjoy what it brings. Enjoy what it releases. Enjoy knowing and not knowing and still knowing. You know? With that, guys, that wraps up the Secret Codename event for everybody who is a Divine Rebel and Soul Star member who got intention candles. I will be with you all in just a bit for our candle lighting and our reveal and all that lovely stuff. My love and support goes out to all of you. Again, thank you to everybody who participated in this moon event. And if you would like to participate moving forward and get your own personal Secret Codename reading, make sure you stop in the Etsy shop. It is linked in the description, and I will see you all next time. Take care, everyone.